For months now, there has been a ton of controversy surrounding the live-action Cowboy Bebop series. The trailers had everyone worried because they looked really mediocre. There were actresses attacking fans for not being excited about the project and simply accepting everything they changed about the story, and then the show came out to face very mediocre reviews, and season 1 was only half of the original anime. And we all thought that they'd at least finish the series, but in a hilarious turn of events, Netflix has canceled the show and isn't making a second season. I have a bunch of different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Make sure to follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Hollywood Reporter article because they are the first group that reported this. It says Cowboy Bebop canceled by Netflix after one whole season. I honestly wasn't expecting to hear this, at least yet. The show's been out 3 whole weeks, not even a month, and they've already decided to announce that they're canceling it. And judging by the numbers, it's done pretty well. So it says the move comes less than 3 weeks after the show's November 19th debut on the streaming service. You guys know I've talked about Cowboy Bebop quite a bit on the channel. I was initially going to give it a chance. I was trying to be positive about it, even though Netflix has a terrible track record when it comes to live action anime adaptations. And I love Cowboy Bebop. The original Cowboy Bebop anime is truly one of my favorites, but as the months went on, and as it got closer to the release date, we saw a lot of problems with live-action Cowboy Bebop, and it came out and I truly wasn't impressed with it, and the reception to it's been pretty negative as well. It says the space western had a rough reception. The 10-episode series garnered only a 46% positive critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and fans seem to agree, giving the show a 56% positive audience score on the site. I am going to talk about the reviews a little bit more later on and kind of show them off, but this was actually a little bit surprising to see. I honestly expected the critics to give it a really high rating. I was expecting the critics to give it like an 80 to an 85%, and then fans to give it maybe a 50%, just because usually there's that difference. There's that gap between critic and audience, but unfortunately for Netflix and the team behind Cowboy Bebop, no one seemed to love this series. Insiders pointed out Netflix's renewal rate for scripted series that have 2 or more seasons stands at 60%, in line with industry averages, and like all renewals, the decision was made by balancing the show's viewership and costs. Now, we don't know exactly what the cost for the show was. A lot of people can guess and speculate, but we have no solid answer, but it seemed like it was a pretty expensive series. They had notable actors like John Cho. There was tons of CGI, lots of different sets, so ultimately it does seem like it just didn't balance out for them. They didn't see a reason to do a season 2, but let's be realistic here. They only needed 1 more season to finish the original story, and I honestly expected them to greenlight season 2 because it was highly anticipated by a lot of people, but Netflix sees it as a flop, and there are a lot of reasons why this show flopped. It didn't just flop because people didn't want to give it a chance. People tried to give it a chance, but unfortunately, they did a lot wrong in this series. They did, in my opinion, do pretty good with the CGI. The CGI was solid. The music was also really good, but unfortunately, the acting throughout it all felt kind of off. The tone they went with was off. The sets were really cheap looking, and just, it didn't come across as Cowboy Bebop. Unfortunately, they didn't focus on accuracy here. They took this amazing series and twisted around the source material so it could make more statements and be more modern and with the times. Let's look at Gren and Faye. They took those characters and changed them around to make the show look more inclusive and modern, and if they focused on making it as close to the source material as possible, I think it would have went way better. Look at this article. This was from November 20th. Cowboy Bebop star Mason, who plays Gren, says the show is righting the wrongs of the anime. This is a prime reason why this show failed, because people didn't want to watch this to see if they could right the wrongs of the anime. People love the anime for very specific reasons. People didn't want you to go into this to change everything around to make it more modern and with the times. But going on over to Rotten Tomatoes, as you can see, this is a main reason why they canceled this series, because the scores are abysmal. It's sitting at a 40% critic and a 55% audience score, and I agree with this. I thought that it was really mediocre. A lot of it just wasn't good. Again, there were small moments that I thought were good. I thought that sometimes the characters acted like their anime counterparts, the versions that they were based on. I felt like sometimes the CGI looked absolutely phenomenal. The music was pretty on point. I felt like some of it translated well, and then like 90% of it just absolutely failed. But let's go on over to the audience score so I can show off a couple of the reviews. A couple of 5 stars actually going on. Ever since they announced that it's canceled, I feel like we're going to probably see this. People giving it 4 and 5 stars rating now, hoping that Netflix will change their mind, hoping that Netflix will reverse their decision and go forward with another season, because of course they could still greenlight another season if they saw people get excited over it and talk about it a lot. Loved it. Hopefully Netflix reverses their decision on canceling the show. But if we go to the next few pages, if we look before they announced the cancellation, only 1 stars. Lots and lots and lots of 1 stars, 2 stars, a couple of 3 stars, but still a lot of negativity when you're going before they announced the cancellation. This is a half star. It says, this was poorly done in every respect. It was a poor remake of a beloved anime, but it lacked any redeeming qualities as a work product of its own. Had it not been tied to the anime, it still would have been bad. Everyone was miscast, the fight scenes were clunky, characters were not compelling. Overall, not very positive. Someone actually gave it a 5 3 days ago and said it was fun the whole way through. People saying things like, because screw the source material and fans, that's why. Not quite the same as the anime, but something different. My problem is that, yes, it wasn't quite the same as the anime, and it was something different, but it wasn't a good type of different. In my opinion, it fell flat. I only wanted to watch it because it was Cowboy Bebop. And I felt like it was disappointing. Someone gave it a 1 star and said a total waste of time. Shows nowadays are idealists. All they do is find shows that are already popular, take them, decide to make their own edited, sanitized versions. The cast is okay, writing's terrible. Showrunners and actors aren't doing the show any favors either. Now, I do quickly want to show off the IMDb pages for the 3 main actors who play Faye, Jet, and Spike, because you would think they would have signed them for at least 2 seasons if they wanted to do both seasons of Cowboy Bebop to kind of do the whole original series. But a big reason why I'm sure they might have canceled it is because of the actors. These actors are going to be busy over the next few years. If we look at Daniela Pineda's IMDb page, she is part of Jurassic World Dominion, which comes out next year. That is already filmed, but she's probably going to be doing a lot of like red carpet events for it. She'll probably be busy. And then she's in something called The Plane, and that's in post-production. If we go to Shakir, who plays Jet, he's in a couple of things as well. He is in Die Like Lovers, which is in post. That comes out in 2022, and then he's in another movie called Emancipation, and that is currently filming, so he is currently busy. And then we have to look at John Cho, the main star of this. Even though all of the actors are really important, John Cho is the main actor. Of course, he plays Spike, and he's going to be busy. Next year, he is in something called Don't Make Me Go, and then the year after, he is in the untitled Star Trek sequel. We know really nothing about it. It has been announced. But he's going to be really busy doing that. That hasn't even filmed yet. We do not know if it's still coming out in 2023 or if that's going to be delayed by a year. We have no idea right now, but he's going to be in this next Star Trek movie, and that's going to probably be really busy and really important for him. They'll probably be filming that next year at some point, maybe in 2023 if they delay that by a year. So these actors are going to be fairly busy, so maybe they couldn't find it in their schedules, and with all the backlash, Netflix ultimately decided, you know what, we're just not going to come back to Cowboy Bebop. It's just not worth it. But Cowboy Bebop has officially been canceled by Netflix. I know a lot of people are actually disappointed because they wanted to see another season to laugh at it, and I kind of wanted to see another season to find out if they would actually listen to fan feedback. They'd take all the situations from season 1, all the negativity from season 1, actually listen to what fans didn't like about season 1, and then try to turn it around in season 2. I didn't think that maybe they'd do that, but I was hoping that maybe by some miracle, they'd actually take feedback from season 1 and do better in season 2, but it is canceled. It is not going forward with the season 2. It honestly, in my opinion, I'm not that heartbroken over it, but that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.